forget to turn on your microphones
Okay,
when you talk.
we can get started, everyone. Thanks for being here early. Let's stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have no highlights this evening. Any patron comments? Not seeing any. All right, we'll move on with the routine agenda, consent agenda items. So first, approval of the meeting minutes from last month. Anyone have any changes that need to be made? Okay, seeing none. Superintendent's report.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are in the middle of school registration. Believe it or not, summer is flying by. Remember, this is our shortest summer in history. We start school August 6th. So we're trying to get the word out about that and just remind people, because of our week-long fall break, we made some changes to the start of the school year. Teachers will come back the 4th and the 5th, and then kids on Thursday the 6th. I just want to make a few comments about the SK Hynix development, just in the fact that we're seeing families arriving to the U.S. and enrolling in our schools. We have really tried to welcome them. We've created some information for them. We've created videos. We've created pamphlets. We've answered questions. We've given tours. Just earlier this week, we had a group join Sue and myself at Harrison. Then they wanted to see the two Klondike schools, so we were able to go inside the Klondike schools. They were very impressed with our schools. Now, I did give them the caveat that those are, been freshly renovated, brand new schools. I said all of our schools are in great shape, but these are brand new, so it's not like every one of our schools are brand new. But they were very impressed with the academics that we offered, the clubs, the extracurriculars, and I think they just really appreciated being able to interact with us. So, if you hear things or you're questioned in public or you encounter any of the new SK families, send them to us. We're answering questions. We're meeting with another representative of their HR team next week because as the families move to town, they have a lot of questions, and rightfully so. And we want to be able to assist them as they find their housing and they end up in our schools. We want to assist them as much as we can. They're turning out to be a great community partner. They, last fall, they donated $80,000 for STEM education in TSC. We're currently working with them on a project where they want to donate approximately $60,000 for playground at Burnett Creek. They want to redo the basketball goals. They want to redo the benches. They want to redo the asphalt. That's happening now. And then we were just notified this week that they want to do another STEM donation heading into this fall. So we're really starting to rack up the donations from SK. So very appreciative of that, and we'll definitely put those funds to good use in our schools. So that's the news, at least from the school perspective, on the SK front. If you drive by, you'll see their cranes. Those of you that live that area, they're moving along, and that's awesome. And we want to be as ready as we can and as welcoming as we can as the families move to town. Just some more number 3 and number 4 there. You can put those dates on your personal calendars. Couple bits of the exciting news. The SIA Foundation, about $47,000 in grants across those schools. You can read those there on the report. And then congrats to Sue, who does our newsletter. She enters our newsletter into national contests for like school newsletter of the year. And we have been awarded the Award of Excellence by the National School Public Relations Association. So thank you, Sue. Outstanding work. Unless you have any questions for me, that's all I have to share at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? All right, we'll move on to the financial report.
Yes, I have 3 items attached this evening for your review. The first is our accounts payable register totaling $21.3 million. All items are routine. Our second item is the monthly financial report. The total fund balance on June 30th is $117.4 million. Other important comparisons and financials are included on the monthly report. And the last item is a routine item. It's the second semester of the 25-26 school year donations. We received $13,194 in donations, 12 of which were in monetary form. That concludes my financial report for the month.
Thank you. Any questions for Amanda? All right, instruction report.
Yes, Mr. Boo and I have the staff development report, which is attached, and then the request for the field trip, which is for the high schools for the FFA field trip.
Additionally, on the consent report for your approval this evening is the recognition of academic honors. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. We've talked about this over the course of the last year and moving away from the valedictorian status and moving toward a Latin honors program that we begin to recognize more students. And as we've said many times, this aligns much better with the new graduation seals and graduation program beginning with the class of 2029 or the cohort of the 2029 graduates. This would apply.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Kirk or Christie? Okay, personnel report.
I'll take that in Dr. Allison's absence. You have the main report, and then you have the addendum. It is in order. We're seeing, unfortunately, some resignations and retirements as we head into the year. We've been through the hiring season already. I think we're up to, what did we say, 54 new teachers heading into this new school year. We've been 80 before. We've been in the 70s. I remember years as high as 90 new teachers, but we're at 54 right now. So we're looking pretty good in that regards, but we'll continue to seek candidates as openings become available. So anything to contribute, anybody on Doug's behalf from personnel? Okay, that's it for personnel.
Thank you. No department reports this evening, and I see no board council here this evening, so any board committee reports? All right, seeing none, can we get a motion then to approve the consent agenda? Moved by Burton, second by Sondgraf. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The consent agenda is approved. On to old business, board policy revision approval.
Yep, so this is an action item tonight. It's my recommendation that you adopt the policy and guideline revisions as presented. I am going to give you one exception here. We did discuss these last month. These are in keeping with the previous legislative session. In particular, our bell-to-bell cell phone prohibition. So that's in here. We've been communicating that. We'll continue to communicate that with students and families, in particular at the high schools, where I think we'll see the most change. Elementary and middle, I think we were probably already kosher with that. But the exception I mentioned, just when you make revisions to policy, you come across an example where you wish it said something different. And it's very minor, and I think you can approve it tonight. It would be my recommendation that you do so. And it has to do with Sunday morning usage. So current policy is the buildings can be used between noon and 6. If somebody wants to request the use of the building or the grounds before noon on a Sunday or after 6, it requires advanced board approval. It's always been that way. That's just the way it is. Well, we just this week they want to play baseball on the fields at McCutcheon and Harrison. It's the kind of the new version of the Colt World Series, and Ryan and Jerry brought forth the request. Well, it was after we published the board agenda. So it's not on here, but by policy, you're supposed to adopt that in advance and give permission. I'm here to say that, like, maybe we should just do away with the words in advance. And if, like in this case, Steve could have just approved it, and then we bring it to you for official approval, albeit retroactively, next month. You know, I don't know why the board approves, you know, before noon and after 6. That's just the way it's always been, and we could change the whole thing if you wanted to. But the policy as written is it would have required these 2 baseball happenings to have been in advance. We did go ahead and approve them and let them use the fields. So I guess all that to say, my recommendation is that you take out the words in advance and let the policy read, the facilities can be used 12 to 6. If there's a request before 12 or after 6, it requires board approval. It's just I might bring that to you retroactively. Kind of like we've done like overnight field trips in the past, like they've already happened, and then we bring them to you to approve retroactively, you know. So that's,
So
can we
this,
just take discussion on that before I make that official recommendation?
So this really has nothing to do with making sure that somebody is going to be available to unlock the locker rooms or unlock whatever facilities are needed. It has nothing to do with that. It's more about,
It's
this-
the actual
they-
use. It's actually permitting the use before noon or after 6 on a Sunday. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So the recommendation is that you adopt the policies and guidelines, the revisions that were presented last month, with the exception that in the facility usage one, we're going to take out the words in advance. So you're still going to need to approve it. Just doesn't have to be done in advance. And then that gives us the ability to say, yeah, let the baseball happen, and then we'll bring it to you afterwards. That's the recommendation at the moment.
Okay. Any other questions for Dr. Hanback on that? All right, then we'll need a motion to adopt the board policy revisions, including the exception for the words in advance.
So moved.
Moved by Burton,
Second.
second by Harper. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Then we'll
All right,
approve
thank
that.
you. That was a mouthful. Appreciate it.
All right, that's all the old business. Then new business, we'll go to Ms. Brackett.
Yes, so tonight I am recommending that the school board adopt the attached resolution. This pertains to the new homestead credits that went into effect with passage of Senate Enrolled Act 1. For this year only, 2026, we are able to spread the credits between our tax funds. I have attached a memo explaining what the process is more in depth. If you have questions, I'll be happy to answer those now. Otherwise, I would recommend that the board adopt as presented.
Okay, any questions for Amanda? Okay, can we get a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved.
Moved by Keckler,
Second.
second by Anderson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And we'll adopt the resolution. And finally, transportation agreement.
Yes, we entered into a transportation maintenance agreement with the West Lafayette Community School Corporation in 2018 to repair and maintain their buses. There are no changes being recommended to the agreement this evening. Our department is able to handle the additional workload, and the funding helps to actually offset the cost of a mechanic. The agreement would be effective for July 1st of 2026 through June 30th of 28. So it's a 2-year agreement. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer it. Otherwise, I would recommend the board adopt the agreement as presented.
Okay, any questions on this topic?
I would just add, for the benefit of any new members, we've been doing this for a while. It's It's a little bit better than a break-even proposition. They only have like 5 school buses. They don't have a bus barn. Our people can handle it. This is just, we renew it every 2 years if we still like the agreement. So what you're hearing Amanda say is we still like the agreement. They like the agreement. Let's do it for another 2 years. Reevaluate.
Any questions on that? Okay. Can we get a motion to approve the transportation agreement?
So moved.
Moved by Songrath,
Second.
second by Keckler. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll approve the transportation agreement. And that's all we have under new business. So for announcements, as mentioned earlier, the first day of school for the 26-27 school year is August 6th. Our next regular board work session will be on August 12th at 4 o'clock here in the Elston Administration Center. And the next regular board meeting will be August 12th